Whisk you away in sort of a land of whimsy and creativity and beautiful history when it comes to art and when it comes to glass in our Tiffany Style lighting show. I would love it if you would call if you have any questions for myself or my wonderful guests. We would love to hear from you. Let me bring him out right away. It's Alan Roderick Jones is here. First time I've had the opportunity to work with you, my friend, and it's good to see you.
Nice to meet you.
You've got a lot of history to yourself in not only the art business, but the film business. But I have to ask you, how did you get into Tiffany lighting? How did that all happen?
Well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, well, you can remember.
I must have been 16, 17. My Aunt Esther took me to a wonderful antique store in Kings Road, Chelsea. And she showed me this lamp. And she said, this is a beautiful Tiffany lamp. And I went to touch it. She said, oh, no, don't touch that. And I said, why? She said, well, this is an antique, and it's one of the originals.
Yeah.
And then I looked at it, and I was very interested in art, of course, because I was at art school.
Right.
And for me, it seemed like this man, Tiffany, was like an impressionist, because I was studying Van Gogh, his letters to his brother Theo. I was looking at Monet and Degas. And I thought, well, this man is an impressionist in glass.
In glass, exactly. Right. I love that you say that, because I know those artists, and yeah, when you look at it, it's just on a different medium. Really quickly, what we're gonna do for you, and you'll notice we'll do that throughout the show, we're gonna lower the lights because we want you to see how gorgeous they are. They're beautiful when they're lit during the day, and even when they're not lit, they're gorgeous, but at nighttime they come to life. So let me quickly, Alan, if I could just tell everybody what your options are here. So this is the hot air balloon accent lamp. So it comes available in the Dragonfly. Now the Dragonfly has over 200 hand-cut pieces and 35 beautifully jeweled cabochons. It also comes in the Turtle, which you'll get to see next, and you can see sort of those big turtle shells right there, primarily in those deep sort of ambers and golds and reds. That has 170 pieces and 13 different cabochons. And then finally, we have it in the Rose, and the Rose obviously a little sort of almost a greenish tone to these, and some blue and some white and orange and gorgeous, and then the beautiful florals to the outside. These are on sale for $20 off. They are free shipping today, and these are substantial and expensive pieces to ship, and this is $149.95, $29.99. You want to take us through each one, or your thoughts on each one?
The only thoughts I have on this one with the Dragonfly, there's a lot of work that goes into making these, you know. Because you studied Tiffany, right? Yeah,
well, I studied, well, remember I told you, I took stained
glass.
I took stained glass in college. It was actually probably one of my favorite classes I ever took. Anyway, a lot of work.
There's a lot of work, and it's the same original work that he did and set up in his studios in 1893. Yeah. And they're still doing it the same way. And he, as a young man, was trained by, I wouldn't say trained, one of his mentors was a painter, George Innes, who was one of my favorite American landscape artists. And then after that, he went to Paris, and he fell in love with stained glass. And he traveled a lot, and he got into color in Japan, in Africa, in Egypt. He really loved color. And when he came back into the gray New York, I imagine he wondered how he was going to bring that color into his life, right? Instead of wearing brown and black, and the buildings were not colorful. No,
all, you know, brick buildings and just all very monotone, right?
And then he had this 500-acre estate in Oyster Bay on Long Island. And he loved to go and paint and draw and sketch. And I think one of his favorite things was taking his easel out with his canvases and just painting nature. Yeah. And on his desk in his office, he had vases of flowers and pots of flowers, and he would just sketch. So when he started to get the idea of doing these lamps, he wondered how he was going to get color into this, because he knew that it would have to be a different color to the stained glass. Right. And he met with this company, Kokomo, I think they were called Kokomo, who knew how to take the green out of the glass that's created by the sand. And that was done by the Viennese too. They did that originally. And he also loved Roman, ancient Roman glass. Right. And the iridescence of the Roman glass. And so he worked with this company and came up with all these different colors.
And the range of colors is amazing, and I love how he picks it and how he matches them out. He uses different types and different textures. You'll see ripple glass in here. You'll see these beautiful cabochons, and then you know, obviously the way that he mixes color and the way that, you know, some of it's themed and some of it is just completely like, you know, when you look at flowers, you see flowers in a garden and often there's a green and blue black backdrop, and you see that here. I think my favorite is probably this turtle. There's something very alluring about, I don't know what it is. Because I would think in my house, like if you have a hallway with a beautiful sort of a table that you would maybe want to put this near a phone or whatever. I mean, they really are beautiful.
Halloween's coming up.
Yeah, that's it. I could put a little hat on it.
It's not.
I could put a witch hat on that.
Halloween's not far away. I don't know how long it takes to order one and get one.
I'd be pushing it. No, you probably get it now. You could still, but
what about
again,
Thanksgiving? It'd work for Thanksgiving.
See, and I love that. All these are great, very festive colors for holiday or whatever. But hey, listen, at $149.95. If you're giving this as a gift, maybe you're giving it to your boss, or maybe you're giving it to somebody who's been a great caregiver for you, or a relative, or maybe you're giving it to your husband or wife. It truly is. These are one-of-a-kind pieces. No two is ever going to be alike. Explain that to Alan, because they're all, everything is by hand.
The artisans who do this, each group is made separate. Every lamp is made separate. It's not on a machine.
Right.
So all the glass is cut. And I can explain that when we look at another lamp, how they cut the glass. Yeah. And it's all put together with copper foil, wrapped, and then soldered. And if you touch these like this, it doesn't echo anything. It's very solid.
Solid, it is. Yeah, very well made.
They're incredibly solid. Yeah. And that's due to the craftsmanship.
And what amazes me, and when I took it in college, you know, we worked on one project all year, and it was a flat panel. And flat panels are, I wouldn't say they're easy, but they're a lot easier than trying to do something that's going to be cylindrical or something that's going to be round or oval. I'm always amazed at how they can put these things together and then have them be so solid.
Well, they have a plaster mold
that they go underneath it.
That goes underneath here.
Yeah.
And then
support it.
They select the glass. And Tiffany, when he did his sketches, he used to make a decision on the lamp. And I don't know if he ever did one of these. I'm not quite sure.
Who, me?
No, Tiffany.
Oh, I thought. Yeah, but look,
I don't know if he ever did one of these
if he ever did
himself.
One of these. Yeah.
But you have to look at the base too, because it's all like the bronzes he used to do.
I love that, and this is a beautiful cast resin that's been distressed, and it looks like you know 100-year-old bronze.
It does.
Yeah, it really does.
And they come in different color tones.
Yeah, and then we'll bring the lights up so you can actually see the details of the base itself, and then you see the you know the little it's been distressed, but it has that look of the rope. You know, and then the sort of ornamental braiding, which may have been around it. And
these, too. Yeah. These are like flying birds here. Yeah. These are like hawks.
So I don't have a lot of anything in the show. I will tell you right away. We don't have a lot of, you know, when we bring these out and when Alan comes out. I mean, we have literally handfuls of each of these, and I know they're very, very, very special. But keep in mind, you buy something like this, you're going to have it for the rest of your life, and your kids will probably have it as well. It's something that's built to last. Everything is included, all the wiring, all the lights, the bulbs, everything is included when you buy it. You just need to make your choice. Again, here is the rose that you're looking at here. You know, you see the rose design. To my right and to your left on your screen, this is what we're calling the turtle, because it has sort of like that, the back of a turtle shell. And then in front of Alan would be the dragonfly as well, and different colors. The base is common to all three, but I'm telling you, think about a place in your house where you'd love to put this.
Also the rippled glass.
That's one of my favorite things. You know what my favorite part, I think, about taking the class that I took in college was when we had to go to the art stores and look for glass. It's like, you're like literally like a kid in a candy store or a kid in a glass store. And you look around and you pick pieces, and your instructor, our art teacher, was like, look for stuff that's unique. You know, there's some that's you know, opaque. There's some that's translucent. There's some that has ripples. You can use what they call jewels or gems or cabochons to use as a focal point. In the middle of mine, I had one big cabochon, and then I just kind of did geometrics. I kind of liked the old church windows, so I did something like that. You will be inspired when you get this home. It's just the tip of the iceberg, guys. We have so much in the show. So maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at the whole show, write some numbers down, and think what you want if you're giving it as a gift. Or if you want to give yourself, there's nothing wrong against giving yourself a holiday gift.
You can buy these for yourself.